Collective Evolution asked NASA about alien life during AMA and got permanently banned from Reddit. On February 22, 2017, NASA held a press conference to reveal they had found 7 exoplanets around a cool star, and that some of those planets could be habitable. Following this announcement, NASA held an AMA on Reddit for the public to ask questions. When we heard of this announcement, we were excited about the opportunity to not only hear what NASA was going to share, but also about the chance to ask an important question during the AMA. We felt our question, at the very least, would tell us what the public was thinking about the subject, and hopefully perhaps get a response back from NASA. We got our cameras ready, went live on Facebook during the press conference, and then joined in the AMA when it came time. Up to this point, NASA made no mention of alien life, but they were mentioning that looking for signs of organic life was a priority on these new exoplanets. Now, to be clear, doing the work we do here at CE, we know through years of researching and speaking with insiders that NASA has been upholding a veil of secrecy around the subject of alien life for quite some time, and that it wasn't likely they would say anything beyond the very public safe statements they made. In fact, NASA isn't even at the top of the food chain when it comes to security clearance and what's known about ET happenings in our solar system. It's very likely that the people on the exoplanet panel didn't know much, if anything, about ET life at all. However, we thought we'd respectfully try to push the envelope. So we asked. Collective Evolution Media asks, when is NASA going to reveal what is known all about ET life? Former Defense Minister of Canada Honorable Paul Hellyer has said there are at least 4 known ET species communicating with humans. He is certainly not the only high-ranking whistleblower on this topic. When is NASA going to address this? Thanks. Now you might be thinking, well, of course they didn't answer. This has nothing to do with the exoplanets. To which I say, it has everything to do with it. Here we are talking about potentially habitable planets that could already contain life, or could end up being planets we move to if ours is destroyed. The obvious question on everyone's mind is, what about alien life there? Given what is known all about the entire subject of ET life, for those that keep up with it, you can draw a very simple conclusion: we are not being told the truth. And events like this are only a drip release of small amounts of information controlled by a number of agencies and organizations that are keeping very important information from the general public. Now let me know, if this were true, does it feel right to you that we would be kept in the dark? Something to ponder, but let's move on. Community got involved. We asked people in our private community to get involved in the AMA and support the question if they felt they wanted an answer to it as well. Over the course of half an hour, the upvote count on our question reached about 20. This was an up and down swing between people upvoting and downvoting. 45 minutes later, a series of negative comments began to come through, calling out our question as silly and not serious. According to other Reddit users, NASA was here to answer serious questions only, and not conspiracy theories. We thought this was odd, as we had not only asked a very valid question but also backed it up with credible information and links, including that of the testimony from the Honorable Paul Hellyer, who is a former Defense Minister of Canada. He is the only cabinet member of G8 countries who has come out blowing the whistle on what government and defense knows about extraterrestrial life. And it's fascinating. Something the public should know, and I'm sure would love to know. Back in 2013, Hellyer, along with a number of ranking officials, ufologists and lawyers, got together at the citizens' hearing on disclosure to testify as to what their knowledge about ETs and UFOs was. Among them was Daniel Sheehan, who also testified. Sheehan is a decorated lawyer who worked on the Pentagon Papers case, Watergate, the Silkwood case and the Iran-Contra scandal. As Hellyer stated at the hearing, the American people and the people of the world have the right to know what's going on, because they are part of it, An investigation was launched into this whole subject and a document was prepared which concluded that at least 4 species have been visiting Earth for thousands of years. Helia is part of a list of hundreds of high-ranking and distinguished individuals who have come forward to blow the whistle on what they know about the subject. The point here is, this is not a topic that does not come with evidence, credibility, and highly decorated and credible people behind it. It is simply our own ignorance on the subject and cognitive dissonance that keeps us in the dark about it. That said, during the NASA AMA today it only made sense to ask the question we did, and it wasn't just asked by us. Many other comments surfaced where people asked about NASA's knowledge of ET life. Obviously humanity is high engaged in this topic and would love to know more. So what response did we receive from NASA? Nothing, which was fine, but sure enough, Reddit suspended our account permanently. We did not spam, abuse, nor ask anything more than one simple question. So what next? I can't tell you why this happened. For all we know it is simply the action of a Reddit moderator wanting to control conversation in their own way. Perhaps they were told to keep questions safe and simple, about the subject only. But it's curious that our account would be permanently suspended in the process. The point of this story comes down to what I've mentioned above. This subject is what I believe to be one of the most important subjects facing us today. It has the ability to change life as we know it entirely. And not in a way that would cause chaos but one that would create amazing beauty. The technological implications of disclosing the truth about ETs and UFOs is astronomical. The question how are they getting here? On its own would reveal technological possibilities that would challenge our biggest industries. The admission of what is truly known all about ETs and the technology that comes with them would make it so that our pharmaceutical industries would be no more, our economy would not be the same. We could thrive and live in a world where we all could explore our gifts and do what we came here to do. This sounds like a utopia, a world that is impossible on our planet given humanity's current state of consciousness, and this is exactly why there is secrecy. Mass control would be no more. So my ask is this, truly take the time to learn about what's truly out there in terms of information on the subject. Watch the videos and hear the testimony from hundreds of ranking individuals who share all they know about UFOs and ETs. Once you allow that information through your mind and heart, then make a decision as to what you believe, but do challenge yourself to not shut down at the very thought of the idea. The realization of this idea has the power to truly change our world in an incredible way. It's up to us. There is a mass shift happening in our world and you are part of it. Be diligent with information out there and don't bow down to the perceived authority of institutions like NASA. They are not keeping you well informed.